Greetings in the bonds of peace, and welcome to Ishi 1. My name is Dr. Sean Lyons. I am a forever student of the vision and revelation given to Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley, who had his vision in the state of Ohio in the year 1931. Dr. Henry C. Kinley proved these facts on 3 ecclesiastical peace missions to every religious organization, every school of the highest learning around the world from 1958 to 1976. As a result of his divine vision and revelation, he transcribed Elohim, the archetype, original pattern of the universe. Along with his transcription, he sent along with that a Holy Name Version Bible transliterated by A.B. Trainer, an Italian Hebrew. Within this publication, Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley revealed to the world the threefold pattern that was revealed to Moses atop of Mount Sinai. And later on commanded Moses to build one exactly like it within the wilderness of Sinai, which was the establishment of the apothecary. This was revealed to John the Revelator on the Isle of Patmos, that Yahshua was the true Messiah and the true Eloah, whom Yahweh have sent into the world for the remissions of sins by the operation of blood, water, and spirit. In Hebrews 9:14 through 15, Yahshua offered himself one time through his eternal spirit unto the Father, through his death, his burial, his resurrection, his ascension, and the outpouring of the Holy Spirit. To remove sin in the flesh. He done this in AD 33 and AD 40 until this present day in the Kingdom Age. This can be found on page 69 through 86, volume 1 of the Comparative Analyst or Apostolic Confirmation of the Creation. Dr. Henry C. Kinley also revealed in the same publication in volume 1, page 129, that entitled Yahweh is the all in all, that Yahweh Elohim is the substance, the limits, and the bounds of all things. Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley gave us rules of engagement pertaining to his vision, and that is the manifestation will change, but the principle will remain the same. That being said, study to show thyself approved, a workman who needs not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And may the Comforter, who is the Holy Spirit, teach you all things. My aims and objectives is to help you find Yahshua the Messiah in your heart and in your mind. 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 5. 1 Corinthians 6, 17 through 20. 2 Corinthians 3, 1 through 6. My second aim and objective is to show you how Yahweh Elohim wrote his laws in your inward parts. Jeremiah 33, 33. Hebrews 8, 10 through 13. My third aim and objective is to help you discern the sons of Elohim and the sons of the devil. 1 John 3rd chapter. 1 John 4, 1 through 10. My fourth aim and objective is to show you and prove that Yahshua is the true Eloah, whom Yahweh have sent. 1 John 5 and 20, John 17 and 3. At this particular time, we will have a prayer, our scripture reading, announcements, our script ascertainment and perception and direction exam. We will choose a speaker. We will have our doxology at the end of the class, which will be Romans, the 16th chapter, verses 25 through 27. And at this particular time, we will we'll be setting up and getting ready to have our prayer at this particular time. And I will be saying the prayer. Heavenly Father Yahweh, I thank you once again for another opportunity to share something of your purpose, your pattern, and your plan. I ask, Heavenly Father, that you be the speaker, that you use your servant for your purpose to explain unto the world your story. I ask these blessings. I ask these prayers in the name of your only begotten Son, of Yahshua the Messiah. I also ask, Father, that you watch over all of us, all of your children that's within the world. I ask that you allow love, compassion, and empathy to be the rule of individuals' hearts in these days and times, and that the world could have some compassion and understanding based upon the things that are transpiring. I humbly ask these things in the name of your only begotten Son, of Yahshua the Messiah. Hallelujah. At this particular time, we will be having our scripture lesson, which will be in the book of Kings. And I will be reading to you 1 Kings, the 18th chapter, verses 21 through 46. And as well, I will be reading 1 Kings, the 19th chapter. Excuse me. 1 Kings, 18th chapter. I'll be reading out of the Holy Name Version Bible, critically compared with ancient authorities, various manuscripts revised by the late A.B. Trainer of the Scripture Association of Maryland, College Park, Maryland. Verses 21 through 46 in the 18th and then the entire 19th chapter. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions? If Yahweh be Elohim, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. Then said Elijah unto the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of Yahweh. but Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them, therefore, give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it upon wood, and put no fire under. And I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And call ye on the name of your idol, and I will call on the name of Yahweh. And the one that answers by fire, let him be alone. And all the people answered and said, It is well spoken. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, Choose you 1 bullock for yourselves, and dress it first, for ye are many. And call on the name of your idol, and put no fire under. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from the morning, even until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah marked them, and said, Cry aloud, for he is a mighty one. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure he sleepeth, and must be awakened. And they cried aloud, and cut themselves after their manner with knives and latchets, till blood gushed out upon them. And it came to pass when midday was past, and they raved on until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice, nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto all the people, Come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him. And he repaired the altar of Yahweh that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of Yahweh came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of Yahweh. And he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, Fill the barrel with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. And he said, Do it a second time. And they did it the second time. And he said, Do it the third time. And they did it the third time. And the water ran about the altar. And he filled the trench also with water. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Yahweh, the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art Elohim in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Hear me, O Yahweh, hear me, that this people may know that thou art Yahweh Elohim, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. Then the fire of Yahweh fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their face. And they said, Yahweh, he is the Elohim. Yahweh, he is the Elohim. And Elijah said unto them, Take the prophets of Baal, let not one of them escape. And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook of Kishon, and slew them there. And Elijah said unto Ahab, Get thee up, eat and drink. For there is a sound of abundance of rain, So Ahab went up to eat and to drink. And Elijah came up to the top of Carmel, and he cast himself down upon the earth and put his face between his knees and said to his servant, Go up now, look toward the sea. And he went up and looked and said, There is nothing. And he said, Go 7 times. And it came to pass at the 7th time that he said, Behold, there arises a little cloud out of the sea, like a man's hand. And he said, Go up and say unto Ahab, Prepare the chariot and get thee down, that the rain stop thee not. And it came to pass in the meanwhile that the heavens were black with clouds and winds, and there was a great rain. And Ahab rode and went to Jezreel. And the power of Yahweh was on Elijah, and he girded up his loins and ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezreel. The 19th chapter.
Doc, I'll read the 19th chapter for you if you don't mind.
Oh, my pleasure, Elder.
Okay. This is 1 Kings 19th chapter. And Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and with all how he had slain all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, So let the deities do to me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time. And when he saw that he arose and went for his life, and came to Beersheba, which belongeth to Judah, and left his servant there. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness, and came and sat down under a juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might die, and said, It is enough now, O Yahweh, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers. And as he lay and slept under a juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him and said unto him, Arise and eat. And he looked, and behold, there was a cake baken on the coals, and a cruse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink, and laid him down again. And the angel of Yahweh came again the 2nd time, and touched him, and said, Arise and eat, because the journey is too great for thee. And he arose, and did eat and drink, and went in the strength of that food 40 days and 40 nights unto Horeb, the mount of Elohim. And he came thither unto a cave, and lodged there. And behold, the word of Yahweh came to him and said, What doest thou here, Elijah? And he said, I have been very jealous for Yahweh Elohim of hosts, for the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thine altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword. And I, even I only, am left, and they seek my life to take it away. And he said, Go forth and stand up on the mount before Yahweh. And behold, Yahweh passed by, and a great and strong wind rent the mountains, and brake in pieces the rocks before Yahweh. But Yahweh was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake. But Yahweh was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire. But Yahweh was not in the fire. And after the fire, a still small voice. And it was so. When Elijah heard it, that he wrapped his face in his mantle and went out and stood in the entering in the entering in of the cave. And behold, there came a voice unto him and said, What doest thou here, Elijah? And he said, I have been very jealous of Yahweh Elohim of hosts, because the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thine altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword. And I, even I only, am left, and they seek my life to take it away. And Yahweh said unto him, Go, return on thy way to the wilderness of Damascus. And when thou comest, anoint Hazael to be king over Syria. And Jehu, the son of Nimshi, shalt thou anoint to be king over Israel. And Elisha, the son of Shamath, of Abel Menethalah, shalt thou anoint to be prophet in thy room. And it shall come to pass after him that escapeth the sword of Hazael shall Jehu slay, and him that escapeth from the sword of Jehu shall Elisha slay. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which have not kissed him. So he departed thence, and found Elisha the son of Shaphat, who was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen before him, and he with the 12th. And Elijah passed by him and cast his mantle upon him. And he left the oxen and ran after Elisha and said, Let me, I pray thee, kiss my father and my mother, and then I will follow thee. And he said unto him, Go back again, for what I have done. And go back again, for what I have done to thee. I'm sorry, Doc. For what have I done to thee? And he returned back from him and took a yoke of oxen and slew them and boiled their flesh with the instruments of the oxen and gave unto the people, and they did eat. Then he arose and went after Elijah and ministered unto him. I've read 1 Kings chapter 19.
Hallelujah. At this particular time, we will have our announcements, and then we will get into our examination. One of the announcements that I have for this evening, I spoke with Sister Katrina Daniels. She said that they will be having the memorial celebration for Dr. Lucille Daniels approximately next week, 1 week from today. She said if anybody is interested to notify her. If anybody in this area would like the information, please notify me. If you don't have my telephone number, I'm pretty sure that you can get in contact with the dean, Dr. Helen Watson of the Oakland branch, and she could direct you to me, or Elder Dr. Joyce Van Hook or Dr. Deborah Van Hook of the Oakland branch, if needed. Were there any changes, Elder, from what you heard about Dr. Alex Bailey?
Nothing to date.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. That's good. What about our other brethren from the risk?
Nothing at all to date on
Okay,
either one.
Okay, good. But no news is good news. So with those brief announcements, I'm not sure if Dr. Johnson will be joining us this evening, but I haven't heard anything, so I will be expecting him. But if not, may Yahweh be with him. So at this particular time, we will be getting into our scripture ascertainment and direction exam, along with this evening's lecture. And so basically, what we would like to do is go over where we are, what we've been doing with our viewers. And so basically, what we have been doing is showing forth how everything that has been manifesting within the creative age, we've been showing forth how the principles that manifest here within this age has been manifesting within the antediluvian age, as well as both of these ages manifesting within the post-diluvian age. And so what we have done so far is that we had showed forth the angelic and the physical, and then we show forth that one is related over here, how we came forth within the age of consciousness, how that in Adam all die. And then we show forth the Adamic covenant, and then show forth that along with this, we show forth the things that happen within the first dispensation with Adam, that in between, and then those that had picked up with Noah. And so therefore, with that brought us over here within the post-diluvian age. And what we did was we had shared the Noetic Covenant. We showed the human government Tower of Babel. We also showed forth the Melchizedek and Abrahamic kingdom and priesthood. So right now, where we'll be starting at over within the post-diluvian age is we will be starting off with the physical kingdom of Israel, law of cardinal ordinances. We'll be picking up how you pronounce that? Davidic.
Oh, Davidic.
Davidic, thank you. The Davidic Covenant, and then we'll be going into the law being fulfilled. So these will be the three that we'll be going into based upon what we had led up to by the first three within the post-diluvian age. We'll be going into these. We also show forth that when we went into number 1, number 2, and number 3, how we picked up the Melchizedek priesthood and promise, okay, and show forth how that it started to manifest over here. So what we're doing is trying to pick up and gather all these principles so that we can be able to show you how all these principles will be able to be applied in the 5th and 6th dispensation, as well as the 7th, which we're picking up the 4th and the 5th age, which is the present kingdom age and the kingdom age. So where we at right now, as I said, that in our previous lectures, we left off with Melchizedek and the Abrahamic promise. And so what we're going to do right now is pick up basically the things that's happening within the physical kingdom of Israel. And so this shows forth how that, when we were talking about how that the children of Israel, and we're talking about after the men of war had died off out here within the wilderness of Sinai, because they did not believe the report of Yahshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb. And the other spies came back, the other 10 spies came back with an evil report. So now right here, we're showing forth how that this Ark of the Covenant that's manifesting right here, how that the priests, see, they bared their souls. And soon as their souls or their feet had touched basically where the River Jordan was, it says that the water heaved up like in a tunnel-like effect, just like the waters did in the Red Sea. And then what happened is that the children of Israel had walked to and through the divided waters of the River Jordan, just like how you see here. And so therefore, we're showing you how that the waters heaved up. and that the children of Israel are going to and through the divided waters of the river Jordan. We gave you an explanation how that when you see this line right here and you see the dark colored waters and the lighter colored waters, it is showing forth how that the waters above and the waters beneath were still conglomerated together at this particular time. But yet and still was the principle to show you how that the river Jordan had overflowed its banks. So now when we come here to the migratory trek chart, which is the divine vision and revelation of our founder, and that we had gave you, we had made a statement about that how that the children of Israel, when they were going to and through the divided waters of the river Jordan, that we had made a statement pertaining to how that the children of Israel was manifesting a breech baby. Because what we're showing forth with you is that how that the Ark of the Covenant is manifesting the head of the body. And if you understand what happened at this particular time was that the priest, Yahshua, the son of Nun, had stayed within the middle of the river Jordan until the children of Israel, all of them, had came up out of their tents, manifesting out here, and went to and through the divided waters of the river Jordan. And it said that the priests, see, could not come from out of the river Jordan until after all of the children of Israel had passed to and through the divided waters of the river Jordan. And then it said that Yahshua had commissioned 12 young men of each tribe to gather 12 stones, see. And what they did was they set 12 stones within the waters of the river Jordan where the priests had stood and set their feet as a witness, as well as taking 12 stones over unto the other side of the river Jordan, over here in Canaan's land. See, to where what happened was that that was the location back when Yahshua, the Messiah, was being baptized by John the Baptist. So now, after all the children of Israel had went to and through the divided waters of the river Jordan, we understand that this is manifesting the head and the people manifesting the body. And so the body had crossed over, and then the priest that bare the ark had came out. And so therefore, this was the principle to show forth how we said that this was a breech baby, to show forth how that the people had came forth, this being the head, and the people came over before the Ark of the Covenant had came from in between the waters. Now, the reason why that we are doing this and showing forth how that the people had came from this compartment, which is the holy place, unto the most holy place, is because that within our school system that everybody is familiar with the establishment of the apothecary, which happened and manifested out here. But with the knowledge and understanding based upon the things that happened up here with the laws of Israel, based upon after that they have received their inheritance, is not often went into. So what we will be doing is that we will be going over the fundamental principles up here in the most holy place, see, based upon the things that have happened with the apothecary here. So therefore, what we will do is we will be able to correlate the principles that happen in the holy place, and we will see principles manifesting the same within the most holy place. Now, the reason for our scripture lesson was to sit up and show you the same principles that had really manifested right here within the holy place. And everything that had manifested up here had manifested with the man of Elohim, Elijah. Now, what we did previously, we showed you how that with the principles that manifested within the holy place pertaining to the schoolmaster with Moses, and the principles that happened with him out here within the holy place were the things that consisted within his vision that was pertaining to the man Adam, and the things pertaining to the prophecy from Adam up until Moses, because we understand that the scripture says that death reigned from Adam until Moses, but not after the similitude of Adam's transgression. Because after the establishment of the apothecary, or this here, that after man had a way to bring sacrifices for their sins, that was the establishment of their salvation right here, that manifested right out here within the wilderness.
Could you please, before you continue, would you please explain to me that breech birth once again, please? I don't think I understand that.
You don't understand that? Okay. Well, what I was saying was that here is the Ark of the Covenant.
Right.
The Ark of the Covenant is the head.
Yes.
Okay. And this is the head of the body. Okay.
Right.
So when the priests had stepped their feet in, it says how in the scriptures, as soon as the priests with faith stepped their feet over within in the River Jordan.
Yes.
That it said that when they did that the waters heaved up because they were crossing over on faith.
Right.
Okay. So now if the Ark of the Covenant is the head and the children of Israel is manifesting as the body, we understand that the children of Israel crossed over while the Ark of the Covenant remained to be within the waters of the River Jordan until the children of Israel crossed over.
Okay.
So therefore, if the body crossed over before the head, and the head was still within the waters until all the children of Israel crossed to and through, and then the priests, and then Yahshua came up out of the River Jordan after the children of Israel.
Oh, yes.
We're showing forth how the body crossed over before the head.
Okay, thank you.
And that was showing forth how that was a breach.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't clear on that. Thank you.
Oh, that's no problem, Doc. And if I wasn't clear, I would like for you to allow me to explain myself and to be very vivid and clear, because, we're trying to convey an understanding to the listeners. We know all these principles. So, basically, with our explanation to the viewers, we want to make sure that it is very clear so that they can be able to understand the principles of childbirth, childbearing, and principles, things that pretty much happen.
Right.
Because see, we know that within childbirth, that when it is a breech baby, that a doctor would try to term the baby within the womb before the baby comes out.
Right.
See, and we know that if the baby is within the canal that's coming out and the baby switches around within the canal, it could rip the mother and kill her.
Right.
See, and as well as allowing the child to be able to suffocate within the canal. So this is why that we go over the fundamental principles of childbirth and things of that particular nature, because it's about the gospel, and then we can be able to see what the principles of childbearing based upon when we're looking at the righteous seed and the unrighteous seed and the principles pertaining to the childbearing. Then we can understand what's going on and why that the children of Israel are doing the things that they're doing at the particular time of their location. Right. So this is why that we use these principles so that we can understand what's going on and taking place. Now we understand that the principle, when the children of Israel were coming to and through the divided waters of the Red Sea, that the manifestation out here would either be a sheep or a goat. See, because the lamb that they had to partake of down here, see, they had to take out a lamb from the sheep of the goat of the first year.
Yes.
Okay. And so therefore, after it got out here, we seen what matured of what they have eaten, right, whether it was a sheep or a goat. Gotcha. So now pertaining to what Moses had told the children of Israel before he went up on Mount Nebo to take off the veil of the flesh and to manifest what we understand to be as the principle of the altar of incense, or the intercessor, was manifested right out here within the holy place. Yahweh Elohim had revealed to him that the children of Israel, after they received their inheritance, that they wouldn't obey Yahweh Elohim. And remember that Moses had made them sing the song. You understand what I'm saying? Before they had crossed over, that they had to learn out here, because he's seen their transgressions and their sins that had manifested over here.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you, Doc.
Oh, no, thank you, Doc. You know what I mean? That's no problem. This is what we do. See? And so now, see that Yahweh Elohim had warned the people through Moses about how that they would transgress, see, when they got out here. See? Right. And the people really didn't understand. And see, we understand what their sin was when they got out over here, is that they chose a man, see, instead of Yahweh Elohim as their king. And that was their sin when they had got out here. See?
Yeah.
Now we're going to pick up all those principles, but what we're going to do is that we're going to take our time. See? And what we're going to do is because what we were doing was establishing the witness of Elijah and showing forth the principles of how that he had manifested the same principle as Michael, based upon fire and the flaming sword that turned every which way. We are also showing forth and establishing our third aim and objective to show forth how that the unexplained spirit law and the so-called powers latent in man is manifesting through Elijah,
Okay.
who is the man of Elohim at this particular time.
Right.
Now, at this particular time, when we have Elijah manifesting up here, that Elijah is manifesting within the time of the kingship. Okay? And
Yes.
so therefore, what we did was we went back within the scriptures to show forth the things that we were talking about. When Elijah had prayed unto Yahweh, he had established and rebuilt the altar that had manifested over here, because we know that when the children of Israel had crossed to and through the river Jordan, how that they had made an altar and burned sacrifice and offerings unto Yahweh after they had received their inheritance. See? And all the way through, they had established, the obedience by having this upon Mount Zion when they had took the apothecary, which is the establishment of this threefold intangible tabernacle pattern, to where Yahweh had commissioned them to make a sanctuary so that he may dwell among them. This was established up here. The Levitical priesthood tribe was the ones, as just how they took care of the tabernacle right out here within the wilderness. Once they crossed to and through the waters, they took care of it right out here.
Right.
And then what happened was that not only were they still called the Levitical priesthood, but they were also called the prophets of Yahweh, because their names had changed from this compartment to up here.
Right.
And all of the Levites were the prophets of Yahweh, because what they did was they ministered unto Yahweh, and Yahweh was their inheritance out here, because they did not get an inheritance once they crossed to and through the divided waters of the river Jordan. So now here we are, and we see how that Elijah, and we looked at how the time frame, that we seen how from the 9th to the 12th hour, that how that the 450 prophets of Baal, cried unto their deity, And so therefore nothing had happened nor manifested when they cried unto their deity. So therefore Elijah had given them all the way from the 3rd hour to the 6th hour up into the 9th hour. And so pertaining to that, we understand that pertaining to that 9th hour is going into evening sacrifice.
Right.
Okay. And so now when we look at the vision, we can tell that it's getting dark outside. And then that is one of the rules pertaining to the laws, of the cardinal ordinances, was that at 3 o'clock, that was the time that the high priest had to come in and light the candles of the 7-branch lampstand so that it could burn throughout the night.
Right.
And so this is why that we're going through these things, is because this is what was manifesting up here at this particular time. And so therefore at this particular time, not only was this light being lit, but therefore the priest had to come and do the evening sacrifices that had manifested, upon this particular altar.
Right.
Now this was a daily routine that the priest has done, and they entered into this compartment and this compartment, and these were the daily routines that the low priest and the high priest done, daily. So therefore, when we come up here, we're understanding that the prophet or the man of Elohim, Elijah, is manifesting and functioning up off of the time based upon the apothecary.
Okay.
Because now we understand that it is the 9th hour when he is getting ready to pray unto Yahweh to be able to consume his sacrifice.
Right.
Okay. So now what we do is that what we want to do at this particular time, we want to take our time, and we want to come to the vision that's being revealed. And what we want to do is so that we can understand the principles in our perception and our direction exam, just based upon principles. What we're going to do is come over here, and we're going to look at the principles that's within the chart based upon the things that are being said. So now we understand that pertaining to the chart of the Ishi, okay? That when it's talking about that it's going into the evening sacrifices, that we understand that this darkness that's going all the way around the edge of this chart is manifesting on a larger level of plate 5A, okay?
Okay.
All right, so now just for the sake of understanding, what we will do is for the viewers, we will always go back and show them what we're talking about so that they won't be left in the dark. Okay? So now, that would be the principles that are manifesting right here. Let me zoom in. Please bear with me one moment. So, as we can see right here, how we have the darkness that are manifesting all around the veils of this particular plate right here. And then we have the blueness that's within, manifesting the blueness that's within the holy place or the most holy place on the chart being revealed with the spirit law manifesting itself right there. So now we see all the carpeted space of the deep, which is manifesting on the outside, which is principle based upon what we are looking at when we see all the darkness that is manifesting around the edges of this chart. Okay? Okay. So now, when it said that we are looking at, he said that it was the ninth hour. We understand that the ninth hour, that would be 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, yes.
So therefore, we will correlate that to the third day of creation as far as time-wise, okay? Now, we understand that the sun rises in the east and it sets within the west, okay?
Right.
But we understand that pertaining to how we have these animals, see, manifesting as the enzymes of the children of Israel that had manifested themselves within the holy place when they were out within the wilderness of Sinai. So what we have to do is that we understand that if the sun rises within the east and it sets within the west, we understand that this sun has to go up and this has to be a round trip.
Right.
Okay. So now what's happening right now is that we have to take the principle of it being a lion and use the principle of it being a oxen, okay, or a bullock at this particular time. And we're seeing how this is a sacrifice based upon that's put on the altar to where Elijah is going to pray unto Yahweh Elohim. And what he is going to do is that he is going to burn or consume the sacrifice at this particular time, okay? So now what we're doing is that we're taking principles and we're seeing how this is the principle, see, of the bullock manifesting right here, all right? Now where this is taking place is it's taking place up here in the most holy place, see, up in Jerusalem, okay? So it's manifesting itself right up here. But at the time, it is turning dark outside. So this is why we're trying to show you all these particular principles, okay? So this is your evening, and then this is a principle of your morning.
Right.
So now, it said that that he had them pour water upon it, okay?
Yes.
And it says he told them to do it 1 time, 2 times, and he told them to do it a 3rd time, okay? Picking up the principle, see, of 1, of 2, and of 3, okay? And so therefore, he says that he put the altars back, he put the rocks up, and right here we understand that this is manifesting the inner organic altar, or earth, manifesting right here. So this is likened unto Elijah establishing the altar of Yahweh Elohim, which we understand that this is Yahweh Elohim manifesting himself right here, okay? So therefore, after he had built up the stones and they had put the water, now we see the principles of the water, which is the perforated line of the waters above and those beneath. So now we see how that they drowned the whole altar and everything full of water, okay?
Right.
And so therefore it says that he prayed unto Yahweh Elohim and fire came down, see, and consumed everything. You understand what I'm saying? And so therefore we're showing you, see, by these principles that had manifested here on the first day of creation, see, to show you how if this was the first day of creation, that these would be the principles that would manifest in the most holy place, right up here. And this is manifesting with the man of Elohim, okay? And this is principle. See, when we look at Elohim manifesting here as the first Adam, this is principle as every man of Elohim, because we have the book of Elohim manifesting right here within the loins to show forth where the seed of man came from. Okay.
Right.
So therefore, this will distinguish between the righteous seed and the unrighteous seed, because this is manifesting the book of Elohim, which he is revealing to Moses, manifesting himself right up here, see, upon Mount Sinai at this particular time. Now we're within the altitude, see, of the heaven. So therefore, at the top of Mount Sinai, we see how Moses is manifesting himself in this half of the moon, which is a waning crescent moon.
Okay.
You understand that we have the sun and then we have the stars, okay? And this is picking up the sun, the moon, and the stars pertaining to the days of creation, of how that they come in. But at the same time, this is where Moses is, and he is being able to see all the names, see, that is within the book of Elohim. We showed you the principles, how that the man here, when he has the fig leaves around his loins, see, and Moses is looking into the book, how that these leaves are manifesting the flags of the Nile River. And then this is seeing how Moses seeing himself within the flags of the Nile River. See, right here, seeing himself coming into existence.
Right.
This is the same principle that we have manifesting right here. See, on the Philoprotogenesis chart. Bear with me, just a little hard to turn this sometime. Let me zoom in so that you can see the principle that I'm talking about right here. See, and so here we have Moses in the Nile River here. See, and this is showing forth how he's in the Nile River here.
Right.
Here is the ark covered over with slime and pitch, and he's in the flags here. See,
right.
So we're showing you on the other chart what was in, see, this ark. See, and now we're showing you what's on the altar. See?
Outside. Yes.
And so, yes, sir. So therefore, we're showing forth how that this is the principle showing forth the outer, and on the other chart, we're showing forth how it is the inter.
Right.
So now, when we are over here and we're showing you these principles, see, and based upon what we had just read, now we're showing how that when we talked about that 7 and that 3, how that they had poured water on it 3 times.
Right.
1, 2, 3. And Yahweh still had consumed everything. And then it said over there, see, within the same chapter, how that he had them do something 7 times. See?
Yes.
And so therefore, we're showing forth the 7 and the 3, because what that is talking about the 7 and the 3 that is manifesting within the law of Yahweh, that we understand that is manifesting right up here in the cloud. See?
Okay.
Which is here. We had the 3 because of the 3 times that he had them put the water upon the sacrifice, and then the 7 times that he had them do what he had them do as far as the principle of 7. Right. I'm not being real specific right now because I have a point in mind and I'm not trying to lose my train of thought. But this is the reason why that we had the book read, because we wanted to read and to go into the scriptures to show forth how that these principles are manifesting within the scriptures. Right. We are not making none of these things up. This is why that we go to the book to show forth based upon the things that we're talking about. So now we understand that after, see, that Elijah had consumed the sacrifice, and we know that the oxen, see, is one of the principles or a manifestation of the attribute of strength, see, which is manifesting right here, see, on this particular leg. We understand by the animal kingdom, see, that within the beginning, see, we understand that they had manifested with the elephant, but pertaining to the children of Israel, wasn't nothing stronger than the ox or the oxen, see. Right. And that's what they use, because we have to understand that the children of Israel, see, what they did was that they were herders. See, that's what they did. They herded cattle, they herded sheep. See, and that was the thing that they did, because when they were down here within the land of Egypt, that's what they told Pharaoh that they did. See,
right.
And all throughout time, we see the principles that happened with Moses. We see what happened with Israel when his name was Jacob, when it was changed to Israel, what happened right out here. So therefore, all these principles must remanifest, see, all throughout, see, the scriptures, so that we can see these principles manifest and prove themselves to be how they're talking about Yahshua, the Messiah. So now, when we were reading how that over there in the 19th chapter in Kings, and it says that, I want to kind of go back and reiterate a few things. How it says that Elijah was a little bit zealous. And it says how that Yahweh had came to him, see, and asked him, what was he doing, see, in that particular cave, okay? Now, Yahweh had came to him just like how he had got Moses' attention here, see, right out here, see? Now, one thing that I wanted to share with you was that it said that Elijah had climbed up into a Jupiter tree, a juniper. I'm not pronouncing that right. Juniper tree. Okay. Now, here, when we look and we show forth how we have these fig leaves manifesting right here on the man. Okay. We understand how we went over within the scriptures, and what we have done was we correlated the man, see, to which manifests on the 6th day of creation to what happened on the 3rd day of creation. Because we understand that man and the vegetation kingdom is synonymous and they are in harmony, okay? And we understand how we went over to the scriptures to show forth how that man is as a tree. Over in Mark 8:22, how the blind man said, I see men walk as trees.
Walking as trees, yes.
Okay, so here, with the same principles as we see how when Moses was here and he was seeing himself being born, and we showed the principles, see, on both charts to show forth that this was Moses in the flags of the river Nile. So now what is manifesting here, because I said that this is manifesting the book of Elohim right here, okay? So therefore, all the sons of Elohim is manifesting themselves right here within this book. So now what we did was, in our previous lecture, we showed forth how this is manifesting a top of the tree, and this is the fruit of the tree, and these are the trunks of the tree that was manifesting right here, which was power and strength to this particular tree. Okay? So now when we see the spirit of Elohim manifesting right here within this particular tree, this spirit, how Moses seen himself being born, this is manifesting Elijah that's within the tree when he went to sleep. Right here, okay? So this is Elijah, principle as Elijah being asleep within the tree, okay? So now, the reason why that we are going here and we're showing forth that is because, as I said, that we have to understand the principles that had took place right out here within the holy place in the wilderness of Sinai. And so therefore, what we are doing is that when we said that when we wrote in the book pertaining to the script ascertainment exam, a nation, we said that every time that the scripture is talking about a tree, that it should be talking about an angel or some fruit or something pertaining to the tree that is related to something that had took place within the scriptures somewhere to show forth how the scriptures overturn and overturn. Now here we have Moses here within the wilderness of Sinai. And Moses already, we show forth and we prove to you how Moses was a faithful witness, okay? To where Moses is manifesting himself here, okay? And so when Moses was out here within the wilderness, Sea of Sinai, he said that let me turn aside and see this great sight, to where he's seeing a bush being burned, but not being consumed. We understand that the same principles that manifested with this particular bush was the same principles that had manifested, see, with Eve when she was here within the garden, right here, principle as this right here. Based upon the conversation, based upon the staff that Moses has in his hand, how it became a serpent. We see how the serpent is manifesting here. And based upon it being a principle of a tree or something that had manifested within the 3rd day of creation pertaining to the vegetation kingdom. Okay? So now here we have the prophet or the man of Elohim, Elijah, manifesting himself within a tree. And therefore an angel had woke him up and prepared food for him 2 times.
Right.
See, just like how we had the man Moses, see, manifesting himself at this particular tree, and Yahweh Elohim had given him 2 power signs. See? So therefore, we have to look at the same principles that are manifesting with Moses. They are manifesting with Elijah, that is manifesting up here, see, in the most holy place or within Canaan's land at this particular time.
Right.
Here we have a tree, and then it says that the angel had prepared food for him, see, and he woke up and he ate it the first time.
Right.
One for the law. And then it says that the angel had woke him up a second time,
right,
and prepared food for him, and he ate again, the other for the prophets.
Right.
Now, what was very, very important that was stated within the scriptures was that it said that when he ate a second time, that the second time was to prepare for him a trip for 40 days and 40 nights.
Exactly.
Which was the same principle of how that when Moses had came up into the mountain, see?
Right.
All 3 trips that Moses was up here, a total of 120 days, because each trip up into the mountain, he was up here 40 days and 40 nights seeing the vision of Yahweh Elohim. We understand that that same 40 days and 40 nights, see, that Moses was up here was principled after the 40 years that the children of Israel were out here within the wilderness of Sinai. Just like how it was principled how that it rained in the days of Noah 40 days and 40 nights.
Right.
How we understand that the principle of the man and the woman, we're talking about Adam and Eve, was in the Garden of Eden, principled as 40 days and 40 nights before their explosion from the Garden of Eden up out of the garden into the world.
Right.
So therefore, what we're looking at are the principles, see, of the principle of 40 manifesting up here within the most holy place with the man Elijah, which is the servant of Elohim at this particular time, manifesting the powers that are latent within man. Because we just see how that he prayed to Yahweh and fire came down from heaven, see, and consumed the sacrifice. Now we're seeing how that an angel, see, had came unto him 2 times, just like how an angel in a bush or in a tree came unto Moses when Moses was out here within the wilderness.
Right.
Now we're up here in the most holy place, see, and we're seeing the same principles that are manifesting, see, right here, because here we are within the most holy place. And there's an angel and there's a tree. You understand? And so therefore we understand that Eve, being a daughter of Elohim, now we have a son of Elohim, we have a man at a tree, and we have an angel that's feeding him. Because of the principle of how that we understand what's manifested here, because the conversation was food here, and an angel and a tree. Because what they ate was the reason why that all men died.
Right.
And so now we up here and we have an angel, see, of righteousness, and now he is feeding the man so that he may live, because the man has a principle or a trip that he must take for 40 days. Right. Just like how they were up here for 40 days and they had to come down after they ate, see, and they ate of an angel. But we understand that this was an unrighteous angel, and here within the scriptures is showing forth the principle of a righteous angel.
Right.
Now we're showing you, pertaining to these things, how that the scriptures are overturning, and how that the scriptures cannot err. So now what we're doing is that if you see it in one compartment, you must be able to see the same principles manifest in the other compartment. So we showed you just how that the principles that manifested with Moses, how that he had seen an angel in the bush, and that in this compartment, that when he went up here into the mountain, that he did not eat for a principle of 40 days.
Right.
Now we're up here within the most holy place, and we're showing you how that the man of Elohim went to sleep inside a tree, principled as this, and then the angel woke him and had him eat. That prepared him for his trip.
Right.
To show you what, go ahead, Elder.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it says that the first time he sat under the tree.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, the first time he went down, he said, let's see, but he himself went a day's journey. Oh yeah, this is verse 4, 19 in verse 4.
Okay.
He said, but he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat down under a juniper tree.
Now stop right there. Now we're showing you how that the man Moses was in the wilderness here. And so now we up here within the most holy place and showing forth that the man is in the wilderness here. The reason why we're showing you this is because when we go to the 40 plate chart, see, of our founder, and we go to plate 27, we're showing you how that Yahshua, the Messiah, see, when he is being tried of the adversary, which is manifesting right here, that he is in the wilderness of Judea. See, he is not in the wilderness of Sinai. How some people preach how that he was up here and then he came down here within the wilderness. That's not so. When they cross to and through the divided waters of the river Jordan, that the tabernacle pattern repeats itself up here. How so? Because we have 3 pieces of furnishing that manifest within the most holy place, three pieces of furnishing that manifest within the holy place. And when you come to the outer court, you have 3 pieces of furnishing that manifest here. So therefore, within the furnishings, and then we see how these are planes, therefore these principles must manifest themselves again right up here. See? So this is the reason why that right out here, see, that he is in the wilderness right out here when this is taking place. So just how Moses was in the wilderness, now we have Elijah within the wilderness right out here, manifesting up here within the land of Canaan's land. Go ahead and read, Elder, where you were.
Okay. It says, this is still verse 4. He said, he sat down under a juniper tree and he requested for himself that he might die.
Now stop right there. Now we understand that the principles that manifested with Moses was that Moses had stuck his hand within his bosom. And when he pulled it out, he had leprosy. We understand that that was a principle of death. And then it says that Moses had stuck his hand back within his bosom, and then he plucked it out, and it was whole again.
Right.
So therefore, since that is a principle of death manifesting right here, here we see that Elijah, when he is up here, he is requesting to die. And there is another principle of death because of the same principles that had manifested here. Right. And so therefore, what we are showing you pertaining to the witnesses of Yahweh Elohim, that each man of Elohim, see, must go through the same thing. Why is it? It's because it's no more than his spirit that is in the man going through the same thing that he went through in every compartment to show forth the witnesses, how they overturn and they overturn.
Right.
Go ahead, Elder.
Okay. Verse 5. And as he lay and slept under a juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him and said unto him, arise and eat.
Now stop right there. Now, in our former lecture that we had talked about before, when we had used the principle based upon how we said that Yahweh Elohim, they ate and they drank, and upon the nobles of the children of Israel, he laid not their hand.
Right.
And we understand the reason why that he laid not his hands upon the nobles of the children of Israel is because that Elohim had touched their father, which was Jacob, and changed his name to Israel. And he had touched his hip and hollowed his thigh. See? So now we're right up here, see? And we're showing you that right up here, how that the angel, see, is touching, see, Elijah and told him to wake up. This is the same principle how we understand it pertaining to how the angel had touched Elijah and woke him up and told him to eat. How that when we go all the way down, see, to where we get the confirmation of what happened to Peter.
Right.
See, that's manifesting right here. We understand that here in Jerusalem, while he is in jail, that the angel had to touch him and told him to arise and wake up. You understand what I'm saying? And at this particular time, told him to rise, woke him up, and took him and led him up out of the jail. So what we are doing is just showing forth how that these scriptures are overturning and overturning. And we're showing you how that where this had happened was in the same location, principle as Jerusalem, see, Canaan's land, that was happening with the man of Elohim, that it is happening within the same place.
Right.
See, go ahead and read, Elder.
Okay. And he looked, and behold, there was a cake baken on the coals and a cruse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink and laid him down again.
Now stop right there. Now, principle, he says that there was a cake on coals of fire. See, that's manifesting right here. Now, the principle that is manifesting, that we know that within this ark of the covenant, that there was a bowl of manna. that was placed in there, see, as a witness based upon the things that had happened, see, within the wilderness of Sinai.
Right.
So that was a witness that they placed within that ark, see, was a bowl, see, of manna, see, which was talked about over in Revelation that John was talking about that hidden manna, see, that one should have. So therefore, that's the reason why that you have a cake that's being cooked up here, principle. Because see, everybody understands and knows how that the 12 tribes of the children of Israel was principled after the table of shewbread, see, manifesting right here. So therefore, since you see how that there was a bread principle that is manifesting within the holy place, we're showing you how that the same principle is manifesting within the holy place, the most holy place, and it's not going up out of the scriptures, because what we're doing is following this threefold divine pattern or structure, which is this tabernacle of Yahweh Elohim and the things which consist thereof. See?
Right.
So now we also understand that upon this throne, see, that when that Shekinah manifests, that throne is heated up or principled as fire. See, upon the throne, after the priest goes up there, see, on the Day of Atonement, on his last trip, and he sprinkles blood upon that mercy seat.
Right.
So therefore, this is the reason why that we understand that it's principled as coals, see, a fire, and it was being bread being cooked up here in the most holy place. Now, pertaining to the flax of oil, that's pertaining to this river Jordan manifesting up here, because this is a water principle.
Yeah, cruise of water.
A cruise of water, see? So therefore, it's manifesting, see, the river Jordan, as well as we understand that when the man, see, Noah was building, see, his ark, and then this ark, see, had rose up above, see, the mountains. See, this is also showing forth how that when we look back at what happened, see, within time that the waters, see, had rose above the mountains. And this is also picking up to show forth that within the most holy place that there is another principle of water manifesting.
Right.
See, right up here.
Right.
Exactly. Showing forth as the waters above and then these below. Okay. So therefore, what we're doing is just looking at the principles that was pertaining to water. And then as well, we understand that it's also picking up the principles of an angel, again, that is manifesting himself right up here, just like the principle of the angel that was manifesting here within the bush.
Right.
So we're just being very, very specific and polytechnical, because we're showing forth, see, based upon what has happened here, see, it's happening right up here. And we are in the same age, see?
Right. And that is making reference to the angels that were both in the holy place and the most holy place on the veils in the tabernacle.
That is correct. And it is also showing forth that by this one being Moses and this one being Elijah, how that it shows forth that each archangel have angels below them, how they give, that these archangels give them charge. Because we understand how it says over there in Revelation, how Michael and his angels fought against Lucifer and his angels and none prevailed. So therefore, all we're doing is just showing you, you understand, I'm saying, a principle of how that angels are manifesting here, as well as here, see, and truthfully, as well as here, within all compartments, see?
Right.
And that's what we're showing you.
And it's also pointing out that unrighteous with the prophets of Baal.
That's correct. And we said that what we were going to do was we was going to show you, see, the sons of Yahweh Elohim and the sons of the devil. So therefore, we're showing you how that the priests of Baal are manifesting the principle of the satanic mystery.
That war in heaven, yes.
And showing forth exactly that war in heaven. Because here we have Michael, see, which is Elijah, and it's showing forth how he is slain, see, the 450 prophets of Baal when he took them down, see, to that, what was the river Ekron? Did I pronounce that right? But
Ishi.
Thank you. See, and it's showing forth how that Michael or Elijah is slain. You understand what I'm saying? Or that war that is manifesting in heaven, just like with Michael and his angels. See, and it's showing forth that war that has manifested up here in heaven. And this is what we're showing you right here, but this is manifested within the flesh. Right up here, see? And we're showing you again, once again, how that please bear with me, how that the angelic is taking its residence within the physical.
Right.
That's just what we're showing you, see? And we're showing you this overturning and overturning. So now we have this war that manifested here. It's manifesting right here, see?
Right.
That's all we're doing. And we're bringing it all the way down. We're showing you the same principles that manifested here in the creative age, that manifested in the antediluvian age, see? And now it's taking residence in the post-diluvian age. And as I said, we're right here on number 4. We're showing you the physical kingdom of Israel, okay? And along with the physical kingdom of Israel, we're showing you what was happening in the angelic creation simultaneously because it's taking its residence within the physical.
Exactly.
And so now that's why it says the physical kingdom of Israel. And now it's talking about the physical creation. But all the principles of what's manifesting in the physical, we understand that it is all angelic.
Right.
Continue, Elder.
Okay, verse 7. And the angel of Yahweh came again the second time and touched him and said, arise and eat, because the journey is too great for thee. And he arose and did eat and drink, and went in the strength of that food 40 days and 40 nights unto Horeb, the mount of Elohim.
So now we understand how that was a very great trip. Just like how the children of Israel, see, had to take this great trip, see, to and through the divided waters of the Red Sea. This was a 3-day journey. And then after that, see, when they crossed to and through, see, the divided waters, see, of the River Jordan, wasn't it another 47-day journey up into Mount Sinai to make it a total of 50 days, a 50-day journey? See? So therefore, this is a repeat that's manifesting up here with Elijah, what manifested with the children of Israel. You understand? Now, we have to understand that when I had read over there in 1 Kings 18, verse 21, that it said that Elijah has spoken unto all of the people.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, from when they had took this trip here, it was a mass of people that was coming all up out here to show forth how that, like it was stated, that how Yahweh Elohim has showed it not only to these 70 people, but there were people down here on the plateau of this mountain, see, that was observing, see, this that was manifesting here.
Right. Why don't I read it, Doc?
Go ahead.
In
Go
verse
ahead.
1. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions? If Yahweh be Elohim, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word.
Now stop right there. Now, why did the people not answer him a word? Because that's the same thing that happened when Moses came to the plateau of this mountain and he seen this golden calf.
Right.
Now, after Moses threw down these stones and he came down here, see, and he told all the children of Levi to summon themselves and to gather their swords. You understand what I'm saying? What Moses said, that everyone that's on Yahweh's side stand over here, and everyone that's on Baal's side or this golden calf side stand over there. See? And there was a division. See? So therefore, we have the same conversation that's manifesting right up here in the most holy place. See? And so all we're doing is extracting the same principles that manifest here with one witness, see, of Yahweh, and extracting these principles with another witness of Yahweh that's manifesting up here within the most holy place.
That's
see?
Right.
Continue to read.
And that's where he was going to try that. So this is where he says, let's see, wait a minute, follow him. And the people answered not a word. Verse 22. Then said Elijah unto the people, I only remain a prophet of Yahweh, but Baal's prophet are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on the wood, and put no fire under, and I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on the wood, and put no fire under.
Now stop right there. Now, we have to understand that when we are right back up here, see, what we have to do is that when we were discussing with you what had manifested right here, and what we're doing is we're going back within the scriptures, and that takes us back unto number 3. See,
okay,
right here within the post-diluvian age with Father Abraham. All right. Now we understand what Father Abraham had did right after, see, he had left and he received the blessing, see, from Melchizedek. Right. It says that when he went, see, that he had laid down, that he had took a bullock and he had cut it in half. And when he had cut that bullock in half, he said that he went to sleep. Right. And when he went to sleep, it says that there was a fire that came in between both halves of that bullock that he had cut.
That's right.
See, and so this is the reason why that Elijah said that they cannot put no fire upon it, is because of that principle that had manifested with Father Abraham. So now we're up in the same location, see? And now we up here, see, with the man of Elohim. And this is the reason why that he told them, do not put no fire up under it. Because, see, the same principles must remanifest themselves again.
That's right.
So just like how that when Father Abraham had cut up that bullock and he cut it up in half because, see, he had to have an agreement between one of, I believe, was one of the inhabitants of Philistine up here. See. And so when that fire went to and through that, you understand what I'm saying? This is when Father Abraham was allowed to see the angels ascend and descend. See, and so therefore,
you're not talking about, you're talking about Jacob.
Jacob, oh, okay, maybe it been Jacob. I know that it was one of the partridges or forefathers, and I do apologize if I'm kind of intertwining their stories and mixing them up, but I do know that all these principles that had manifested right up here. And if it had manifested with one of them, it had to manifest with all three of them. Maybe not identically the same, but principally as fire, with the sacrifice, and then with angels ascending and descending.
Right.
See, so all we're doing is just confirming that, see, by going over these things, because we understand that just what's happening with Elijah had to happen with Father Abraham. And we understand that the same principles happen with Isaac and Jacob as well.
Right.
Go ahead, Elder.
I just wanted to point that out.
Yo, I appreciate it. See, because see, what we don't want to cause no misunderstanding and no confusion.
Right.
And so,
you were right about Abraham, because Abraham had to cut up an animal.
Yes.
And remember, he was going back and forth.
Yes.
Shooing away the birds.
Yes. That's right. So this is why, you know, what we do is that we go over, and, you know, just for the sake of time, because, you know, we don't have the scripture readers like we have in class.
Right.
And so therefore, you know, this is not just for no beginner. You have to kind of be seasoned within the scriptures to be able to understand what we're talking about. Because we can't hold everybody's hand all the way through the whole entire scriptures. They have to have some type of validity of what the scriptures say, so that they can be able to see the repetitiousness and the overturning, you see what I'm saying, of the Creator. Because if they don't, then what happened is just like what we talk about, is that they will stumble with the scriptures because they don't understand what's in them.
Exactly.
See? And so therefore, all we're doing is right now is that we are helping the handicap by going back, see, and getting an explanation based upon what's going on within the scriptures. And we are going there within the scriptures, showing forth what's manifesting up here in the most holy place.
Exactly.
See, we understand that everybody within the institute, see, they have this understanding of coming up out of the land of Egypt and coming up out here and seeing the principles manifest out here. But it's very rare to see that they understand that the same principles that manifested here are happen right out here. And what we're doing is that we're going there and we're showing them the principles that happen here are happening here.
Exactly.
See? Exactly. And we're going according to, see, everything that's manifesting based upon the numbers and the numerical order of what's happening in the post-Diluvian age. 1, 2, 3, and here we are 4. And what we're doing is that we're showing forth the physical kingdom of Israel and the law of carnal ordinances that are manifesting with, see, the spiritual law and the things that manifest within the more greater perfect tabernacle. See?
Exactly.
That's what we're doing, see? So go ahead, Elder. Where were you reading?
Verse 24. And call ye on the name of your idol, and I will call on the name of Yahweh. And the one that answereth by fire, let him be Elohim. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken.
Now, right there, We know that when we go over there to the book of Hebrews, we understand that it tells us that our Elohim is a consuming fire.
That's correct.
See? And so therefore we listen to based on the things that's spoken of within the prophets to where we can see based upon the things that are manifesting right now. And that's happening right here within the scriptures. Now, we had shared with you that pertaining to the principles of the archangel Michael, that his sword was a flaming sword that turned every which way.
Right.
So all we're doing is taking the principle of fire and we are applying them to the man of Elohim to show you how the unexplained spiritual law is manifesting within him. And the laws of nature, see, are manifesting with the man Elijah, just how they manifested with the man Moses.
Exactly.
See? And so now, again, we're showing you how they are manifesting right up here in the most holy place. And the scriptures cannot be broken. Continue, elder.
Verse 25, and Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you one bullock for yourselves, and dress it first, for ye are many, and call on the name of your idol, but put no fire under.
Now stop. Now we understand that pertaining to the scriptures, see, that when Yahshua had cast the evil spirits up out of the man that was walking amongst the tomb, he said that his name was Lazarus. And he said that the spirits in him was many. See? And so therefore we understand that when he is showing right there with him, and he says for them to be able to dress their bullock, we understand that when the man was in the garden in the most holy place, that he had to dress and keep the garden. So now it is telling them pertaining to their sacrifice, see, to dress it and prepare it. Why? Because of the dressing that was manifesting within the most holy place when Yahweh had gave the man to dress and keep the garden, because it was within fruition. There was nothing for him to do. Continue, elder.
And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it and called on the name of Baal from morning until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, not any that answered. And they leaped up on the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, cry aloud, for he is a mighty one. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure he sleepeth and must be awakened. And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lancets until the blood gushed out upon them. And it came to pass when midday was past, and they raved on until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice, nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto all the people, come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him, and he repaired the altar of Yahweh that was broken down. And Elisha took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of Yahweh came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of Yahweh, and he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed.
Now stop right there, elder. Now right there, see, we understand that when the children of Israel went to and through the divided waters of the river Jordan, I told you how that Yahshua, the son of Nun, had commissioned 12 men to take up 12 stones that were right out here, see? And what they did was they stacked 12 stones, see, right out here at the feet where the priest had held the Ark of the Covenant within the river Jordan. And then those same 12 young men took 12 stones and stacked them, see, right on the other side to show forth and to prove how that Yahweh Elohim had brought them from to and through the divided waters of the Red Sea and to and through the divided waters of the river Jordan. And they had set those stones there to remind their children, to when their children says, what of these stones? Right. And those stones was to remind them how that Yahweh Elohim had delivered them from Egypt all the way into Canaan's land. So now we have 12 stones, see, here, see, to where Elijah is rebuilding, see, that altar, see, and establishing the children of Israel's faith, see, back in to the Father. See, right. And so that's what they're doing right here. And we're showing you the same principles that are manifesting right here. Now, they had got the stones up out of the water. You understand what I'm saying? Here is showing forth that he had the stones and made a trench. Why? For it is principle to hold water, just like how we have the River Jordan. So now we have all these principles manifesting themselves right up here. See? And so how can you get away from blood, water, spirit, see, and change? So now we're picking up the same principles that are manifesting right up here within the most holy place. We have the water that is principled by the water that is manifesting within the trench, correlated to the waters of the River Jordan. We're picking up stones. See, we understand that Yahshua the Messiah was the chief cornerstone. See, as well as manifesting that lamb. And so therefore, see, we understand that if Yahshua the Messiah is the chief cornerstone, says that they stuck him in the side and out forth came blood and water. Now up here, we also have an oxen. And if that is a sacrifice and they had to cut it up, we know that there was blood principle up there. You understand what I'm saying? So now we have blood, we have water. See, and so therefore it showed forth how that it was after the third hour. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore we're showing forth a principle of change, and how that now we have the man of Elohim mocking them because it has been so long past the 4th hour. You understand what I'm saying? By him waiting, and we're up until the evening sacrifices now. So now we're showing you how all these principles are manifesting themselves right up here in the most holy place. Blood, water, spirit, and now change. And also as well, we're showing forth how we got fire up here, just like how we have the principles of what manifests down here within the court roundabout, see, picking up the sacrifice or the things that are pertaining to the altar of sin sacrifice. They're manifesting right up here. You understand what I'm saying? So we're showing you, see, the overturning and overturning pertaining to the things that are manifesting within the apothecary, how that the man of Elohim is functioning. You understand what I'm saying? And he's not even within, see, this constructed tabernacle pattern here, because he's in the greater, more perfect tabernacle that's constructed by Yahweh Elohim instead of man. But the same principles apply.
Right.
Go ahead, Elder.
And he put the wood in order and cut the bullock in pieces and laid him on the wood and said, fill 4 barrels with water.
There go your principle of 4. There go your principle of 4 right there. Go ahead, Elder.
Fill 4 barrels with water and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. And he said, do it the 2nd time. And they did it the 2nd time. Then he said, do it the 3rd time. And they did it the 3rd time. And the water ran round about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water.
And we understand the reason why that it is done 3 times.
Yeah.
That takes us back 1, 2, and 3, and it has to be within the most holy place. See? So now it takes us all the way back. See, right here to the creative stage. You understand what I'm saying? Or to the creative manifestation of where the origin of that principle of 3 originally took place. Right. This takes us back to the etymology, which is the word. See? And that's why we are within the scriptures showing forth the reason and the where it came from. Now, when we use the etymology or the let me slow down. Let me slow down. My words, every time I get so anxious to try to bring forth these points, I can never, ever pronounce a word. So the etymology of the matter, see, or the cause is this, because this is the cause of the 3. Okay, that's manifesting within the most holy place, to show you how it is manifesting within the most holy place, because what was principled right up here. Okay, all right. Go ahead, Elder. I'm sorry.
And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Yahweh, the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel.
Now stop right there. Now we just showed you in our previous lecture, Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. See?
There you go.
1, 2, 3. And we're showing you again how the scriptures overturn and overturn and overturn.
Right.
See? Go ahead, elder.
Let it be known this day that thou art Elohim in Israel, and that thou art Elohim in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word.
Now, right there, see? Now, we said that we was going to get the etymology of it, and that he says all things at Yahweh Elohim's word. Why? Because in the beginning was the word.
Right.
The word was Yahweh, and the word was with Yahweh.
Right.
So now we're showing you how that if the word was Yahweh and the word was with Yahweh, we're showing you how the servant of Elohim has the word with him. And that and what his name means, that he is a manifestation of the Father, and how the word is with him, because we have to understand what Elijah means.
That's it.
He is a manifestation of the Father. This is why we had read over there how that the people who Jehu did not slew, that Elisha would slew, whom we understand Elijah had put forth his mantle upon Elisha, and Elisha wanted to go forth and kiss his mother and father before he followed him.
Right.
See, go ahead, elder.
Hear me, O Yahweh, hear me, that this people may know that thou art Yahweh Elohim, and that thou hast turned their heart back again.
Now stop right there. Now, when we go over there to John, the 17th chapter, it says how that Yahshua the Messiah is the true Elohim, who Yahweh Elohim have sent.
That's right.
So now we're seeing right here how Elijah, you understand what I'm saying? See, the same words that are spoken by Elijah is the same thing that is manifesting to what John wrote pertaining to how when Yahshua was the one to show forth how he was the true Elohim, who Yahweh have sent. See?
Exactly.
Now we're showing you how all these scriptures are manifesting, how they are being fulfilled, and how everything is pointing unto the Messiah, but yet and still we're showing forth how it's manifesting with the sons of Elohim. This is very, very important. Go ahead and read, elder.
Okay, verse 38. Then the fire of Yahweh fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench.
Wow.
And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, Yahweh, he is the Elohim. Yahweh, he is the Elohim. And Elisha said unto them, take the prophets of Baal, let not one of them escape. And they took them, and Elisha brought them down to the brook Kishon, and slew them there. And Elisha said unto Ahab, get thee up, eat and drink, for there is a sound of abundance of rain.
Wow. And so now we understand that at this particular time, remember that the man, see, or the servant of Elohim, which is Elijah, said that it would not rain
for 3 years.
For 3 years until he spoke it.
That's right.
And so now he has stood up and he had told Ahab, he says, you need to go, you understand what I'm saying, before the rain. And we have to understand that it was a drought at this particular time. It has not rained in 3 years.
That's right.
See? And so now we have to understand, see, when we look at this, let's go back. Now it says that when Elijah had spoken, it says that fire fell from heaven, huh?
That's right.
Okay. Now that looks like fire. See, that's falling from heaven right there. See? Exactly. And so therefore it says, see, that when we look at this right here and we see how fire fell from heaven, that the principle of the second day of creation is the dividing of the waters. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And so therefore we understand that after fire fell, see, that the rain came.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? And all we're seeing is the days of creation manifesting from the first day of creation, remanifesting himself again according to the days of creation. See, everything remanifests themselves. The scriptures cannot be broken. You understand what I'm saying? And so therefore we understand how the fire fell and now the waters were divided from those above and those beneath with the firmament. See, within the middle, we understand that right here, see, is where the rain first started, because see, this is where the waters of the deep were broken up from the waters from the heaven being broken up. And then it close in between right here. See, when we take this principle and we run it all the way down, see, and we don't have a problem doing that because see, we sure about what we're talking about. See, and there you go there with the rain manifesting right there in this compartment right here. See, that's what we're talking about. See, and see, we run all the principles all the way down. See, because the scriptures cannot be broken. See, they cannot be broken. They cannot change for nothing. See, so whether it is manifesting within the creative age, see, or within the antediluvian age, they're going to manifest all the way down. So now here we are. See, we're in the post-diluvian age, and these same principles are manifesting all the way down. See, so now what I want to do is that I would like to stop right there. Because see, what we just did was we went over the principles and we just showed forth, see, how that the physical kingdom of Israel, and we have the law of cardinal ordinances. And so what we did was we showed forth the law of cardinal ordinances manifest, see, within the kingdom of Israel through the servant of Yahweh Elohim, which was Elijah at this particular time.
Right.
So now what we're going to do right now is that we're going to go and we're going to pick up the elder, say that again for me.
The Davidic Covenant.
The Davidic Covenant, okay? So now we're getting ready to go pick that up right along, see, with number 4. So we're going to pick up the principles of 4 and 5 right now, okay? So what I want to do is, if it is possible, I want to go to stay in the same book of Kings, but I need to go to the 8th chapter.
8th chapter. Of
right.
8th chapter.
Because what we're doing right now is that we have to pick up that covenant. It's very important that we do that. And what we're going to do is for the sake of time, is that the Davidic covenant was that King David was not able to build this temple.
Right.
But see, it was within his heart to build a house for Yahweh. And that was his covenant, okay? To build a house for Yahweh. But we understand that pertaining to that, he could not do it because he was a man of blood.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, there's another principle that's manifesting right there within the most holy place pertaining to blood.
Right.
See? And so therefore, it was stated that his son had to build this particular temple. Okay? So what we do is we'll tell it to you. And see, what we're going to do is we're going to go back in the scriptures and we're going to prove everything that we say to you, because everything that we have said to you prior to us going within the scriptures, we proved it pertaining to the vision. See? Right. And so one thing that we have stated to you is that we stay within the confines of the book, but we're not confined to the book.
Hallelujah.
And so this is the reason why that we're showing you the same principles that are manifesting within the holy place. They're manifesting right up here within the most holy place. And what we're doing is that we're following the vision and revelation of our founder, Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley. And what we're doing is breaking it down to you the same way how he had this understanding when he was revealing this unto the masses. See? Now, he couldn't really actually go into these things, but see, he did. He told us to him because, see, he wrote them, see, on the vision.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So therefore, it is our job, see, to go through these things 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You understand what I'm saying? Because, see, he had the totality of the vision.
That's it.
He wrote it and he made it plain upon tables.
Right.
So now what we're doing is we're just reading, see, what he has already written. You understand what I'm saying? And we're making it plain and see, and revealing it according to all the charts, see, that he has within the school system, so that it could be vividly clear of how Yahweh is overturning and allowing us to be able to go to the creative stage of existence and the antediluvian age and the post-diluvian age and see it by the vision and revelation that's here, as well as on the 40 plate chart.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
See. So now we should be in the 8th chapter of 1 Kings. And what we're doing is that we are going to go over the day. I can't say that for nothing.
What?
The covenant.
Oh, the Davidic.
The Davidic covenant. Thank you once again. Oh my goodness.
And now just think, David. Say
David.
David's covenant.
David's covenant. I'm gonna keep it simple. That's why they say KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
Okay, David's covenant.
Okay.
And where are we going to start reading?
8 and 1 of 1 Kings.
Okay, Dr. Toussaint, would you start reading 8 and 1? I have to excuse myself 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. 1 Kings 8 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 1. Then Solomon assembled the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes.
Now stop right there. Now what I want to do is I want to kind of come here to the chart. Let's do a little bit. Let's do a little bit of preaching. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we want to do. Please bear with me while I try to get things so that we can. Okay. So now, here within the vision, see, we see how we have Yahshua manifesting himself here within the high priest garments, and then we have Moses, okay? So now we have to understand that Yahshua is manifesting himself as King Solomon, okay? Because what he's doing is that now he had just erected, see, if you look right here, it says this is King Solomon's temple, okay? I'm going to come in a little bit more so that the viewers can see what we're talking about when it's talking about King Solomon's temple, okay? Now here, oops, okay. Right here, showing forth King Solomon, right here, King Solomon. This is manifesting the door, right here, okay? This is manifesting the door. This is King Solomon, see? And then right down here at the bottom, manifesting temple, okay? Yeah. So now you see this is the congregation. This is all the people that it's talking about, okay? We got Solomon that's manifesting himself right up here, okay? So Yahshua was manifesting Solomon. And then there's all the people that's manifesting right there, as we understand the principle as the children of Israel coming to and through the dividing waters of the river Jordan. So here we are manifesting right here. Okay? So go ahead, Dr. Johnson.
Then Solomon assembled the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes, the chief of the fathers of the children of Israel, unto King Solomon in Jerusalem, that they might bring up the ark of the covenant of Yahweh out of the city of David.
So now right here, as you see Moses right here, and we show forth how this is him, see, that was throwing plate 6A down. That's manifesting as what we see right here. And it's showing forth that when we see right here how it is a division, that Moses is throwing down the division of light and darkness. It is showing forth how you got your darkness here and how you have your light here. And it's showing forth how that the division between light and darkness is manifesting itself within the whole entire world. Okay? So now this is manifesting right here as the Ark of the Covenant and the priest bringing the Ark of the Covenant up, see, unto the temple of King Solomon. Now here, when you see Yahshua the son of Nun, Yahshua the son of Nun is manifesting the principle of King Solomon, okay? And he is manifesting King Solomon in the high priest garments, because we understand that King Solomon, see, was king and priest. See, a manifestation of that. And within this chapter, it's going to prove just what we're saying. Go ahead and read, Doc.
And all the men of Israel assembled themselves unto King Solomon at the feast in the month Ethanim, which is the 7th month. And all the elders of Israel came, and the priests took up the ark. And they brought up the ark of Yahweh and the tabernacle of the congregation and all the holy vessels that were in the tabernacle, even those did the priests and the Levites bring up.
Now hold on 1 second. Let us go to the vision of our founder. Let us show them an example of what we're talking about. Now, when we look at the vision of our founder, we show you right here how that we have Mount Moriah and Mount Zion, and we have the tabernacle right here.
And the temple.
And we have the temple.
Right.
Now, this is Mount Zion and this is Mount Moriah. Okay? So they had to come all the way down from this mountain, see, with all them vessels, see?
Yeah.
And they had to tear this down, and they had to come all the way down, see, Mount Zion, and go all the way up until Mount Moriah with all those vessels. And they're carrying all those things, see, unto the temple. Right. So we want you to truly understand what's manifesting right now and how big this event was and what they were doing, okay? Continue.
Okay. And
See, these are just Bible stories. See, this is an event that actually took place.
Right.
See, this was what was going on at this particular time. They didn't have cars and trucks like how we have now. See, all they had was animals and carts and carriages and things of that particular nature.
Right.
Okay? Go ahead.
And King Solomon and all the congregation of Israel that were assembled unto him were with him before the ark, sacrificing sheep and oxen, and could not be told or numbered for multitude. And the priest brought in the ark of the covenant of Yahweh unto his place, into the oracle of the house, to the most holy place, even under the wings of the cherubims.
Now stop right there. Now we shared with you how that we have Adam manifesting himself right here, and then we have the second Adam, okay? And then we showed you how that Adam is manifesting himself as an covering cherubim or a covering cherubim. See, right here, because we're showing forth how we have his wing manifesting right here. So we're showing you how that this is a manifestation of the Ark of the Covenant. And this is a cherubim and this is a cherub. Because this is the other wing, see, to this angel right here. See? Now it's showing forth how that within the temple of King Solomon, see that he had two other archangels in there, see, that were real big, and that the priest had to bring in the Ark of the Covenant and set it in between these two bigger angels or bigger cherubims to place the Ark of the Covenant right in between. Okay? So this is the priest bringing it in. You understand what I'm saying? Getting ready to set it right here within this place, within the temple. Okay? So we want to show you what's going on because this is another manifestation, see, of King Solomon's temple. Okay? So this is the door that they're going in right now. See? What we're showing you right here, see, when you're looking at this rainbow that is manifesting right here, that's going forth within the doors, we have to understand that back in the days of Noah, that this was the covenant. Okay, this represented the Noetic Covenant, okay, between man, beast, you see what I'm saying, and everything that was living, how Yahweh would not destroy anything by water again. Right. So based upon these colors are representing a covenant that when you see it manifest all the way down here, this is getting ready to manifest a covenant that's getting ready to manifest with King Solomon and the people. Okay, and this is the reason why that they are sacrificing oxen, see, and sheep that could not be numbered because it's a covenant that's getting ready to manifest right here based upon King Solomon and Yahweh Elohim. Okay, continue.
And by the way, while we're on that subject, that was also the month of Ethaim. It was October because it was the 7th month.
That's right.
And also they had to carry. Remember, they could not have those vessels, especially the Ark of the Covenant, on a vessel. It had to be carried by
by the priest. It had to be carried. They couldn't put it on nothing. And that's why we were talking about when we were showing forth, see, on the Father's chart right here, see, how that they had to come all the way down from this mountain, see, and go up this mountain, and they did that. They carried it. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't carried by no animals. It had to be carried by man.
That's right.
Because it had to be the same principle that manifested when the children of Israel were in the wilderness of Sinai for 40 years. They carried it upon their shoulders. The high priest had carried it. So therefore, that was an oracle, see? Or, I'm going to say, see, that was a covenant, see, between Yahweh and the Levites. You understand what I'm saying? How it had to be bared. So that's why when you see this is manifesting a covenant that is manifesting to the whole entire world. When you see this manifest right up here, see, and this is the second day of creation. See, but we got this here because the second day of creation is manifesting the second dispensation, which we understand the covenant that manifested within the second dispensation with Noah and the Creator. So now we're showing you, see, the same thing and the same principles recapitulating. See? Now we understand right here that with the sons of Elohim, we understand that pertaining to the third day of creation, see that they manifested the angels or the sons of Elohim. You understand what I'm saying? Because we showed you how that the third day of creation and the fourth day of creation pertaining to the stars manifested the angels that were within heaven. See?
5 minutes, Doc.
5 minutes? Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Dr. Johnson.
Okay, verse 7. For the cherubims spread forth their two wings over the place of the ark.
And here they go, spreading forth their two wings, see, over the ark. Okay, go ahead, Doc.
And the cherubims covered the ark and the staves thereof above. And they drew out the staves, that the ends of the staves were seen out of the holy place before the oracle. And they were not seen without, and they were, and there they are unto this day. There was nothing in the ark save the two tables of stone, which Moses put in there at Horeb, when Yahweh made a covenant with the children of Israel, when they came out of the land of Egypt.
That's right.
And it came to pass, when the priests were come out of the holy place, that the cloud filled the house of Yahweh.
That's right.
So that the priests could not stand to minister because of the cloud, for the glory of Yahweh had filled the house of Yahweh. Then
stop right there. Stop right there. Now it said that the glory of Yahweh had filled King Solomon's temple. Now, that's the same thing that happened in the wilderness.
Right.
See? Now we said that we were going to show you the same principle that happened in the holy place happened in the most holy place. Okay? So now we understand that right here, see that after Moses had reared up everything, see that the cloud had entered into this sanctuary to where Moses and Aaron could not minister therein.
That's right.
Okay? So now what we're showing you right here is, see?
I love that.
Let me see. Let me focus in a little bit more right here. How that here pertaining to the scriptures, that this is King Solomon's temple.
Right.
And then we're showing you how that the cloud of Yahweh Elohim had filled the temple. And this is the reason why that you see the red, see, within the windows and within the door. Showing you how the fire, see, had filled this temple. Had filled the sanctuary pertaining to what Dr. Johnson, see, is reading. Now we understand that it filled this temple because it filled what had manifested right down here, see, in the wilderness. Let me just back up a little bit so that you can see the principles, how it happened here in the wilderness. I'm talking about what happened right here, see? So the same thing that happened here, see, it's the same thing that happened up here. You have to see these things happen, okay? And so therefore, you have to understand that where we are in time, see, is that we're talking about the king and priest. Because the principle is showing forth how we are kings and priests of Yahweh Elohim. So this is the first manifestation of king and priest. See, that is establishing the apothecary, just how it was established out here, see, within the wilderness of Sinai.
Right.
And now you have the king, see, of Israel, see, manifesting these things right up here and showing forth the same thing that happened here is happening here.
Right.
And so this is where we're going to leave off at, pertaining to the scriptures, to show forth the same witnesses, okay? And what we're going to do is our next class is that we're going to pick up this right where we left off to show you that everything that happened within the wilderness of Sinai is taking its residence in the most holy place, okay? Because what we're just showing you right now is that everything that happened out here, see, within the wilderness of Sinai is what has happened within your heart. And so now we're up here within the most holy place, within Canaan's land, and we're showing you the same principles that's manifesting within your mind to show you how that Yahweh had wrote his laws in your heart and in your mind, pertaining to the principles that are manifesting within the principles of the greater, more perfect tabernacle, within the wilderness of Sinai, and then within Canaan's land, within Jerusalem. And we just wanted to show you these things is because, see, these are the things that we're leading you up to, see, that's leading you up into the Messiah and the things that he has established pertaining to his gospel, see? And we're showing you physically how that he established the king and priest, see, of Jerusalem, pertaining to how the king and priest of Salem, which was Melchizedek, had blessed Abraham. And now what we're doing is just showing you the king and priests that are manifesting through the seed of Abraham by the promise, see, which Yahweh Elohim have given unto the people.
Right. And then and taking it back one further, Doc. When Yahweh Elohim breathed into Adam's nostrils.
Same principle. That's right.
And wasn't he a king and priest? Didn't he have dominion over everything?
Everything.
Yes,
He was the first king and priest.
Yes, sir.
See? That's right. See?
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes, it is. See? And it overturned and overturned. See? And that's all that we have been sharing. See? We showed how the man had dominion. See?
That's right.
How he was king of kings. We showed forth what that lion represented when that lion was witnessing unto the man coming in. See?
Exactly.
And we got to understand this too, that a lot of people don't really understand it, even though that Elijah was a Tishabite. You understand what I'm saying? He still was from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
See? So, you know, all these things they overturn and overturn. See? And this is all that we're trying to sit up and show our viewers. See? And really, you know, not only are we showing how it overturns and overturns, but see, like we say, the scriptures, they don't err. And then we understand what our founder was talking about, how he says that the words in the Bible haven't changed. They never changed. It was his understanding that changed.
Understanding changed.
Mm-hmm. And so now all we're doing is elevating the understanding of our viewers to be able to see it from our founder's point of view and perspective. See? Now, see, one thing about it is what the viewers don't understand, and I want to share this with our viewers before we end. When we say, this is kind of an oxymoron, but I'm gonna do my best on the explanation. When I was telling you how that Dr. Van Hook was an elder, she's not the only person who I call elder. But the reason why I'm saying that was because how that when she first came into the teaching, how that she was a child of Yahweh Elohim, okay? Just like how you have to understand that you have to grow up. So as her being a child and all the heads, you understand what I'm saying, speaking from the founder and everybody from the international board, all of them had died off. Now it allowed Dr. Van Hook to be an elder now. You understand what I'm saying? See? And so now she's looking back at us as the young men of valor. You understand what I'm saying? To where she used to be a man of valor. Now she's an elder. You understand what I'm saying? And so pertaining to the ministry, you know what I'm saying, being a king and priest, after, you know, quote unquote, pertaining to the children of Israel, you know, after they reach the age of 50, they don't minister no more. But see, it's not so much as with us having the spirit of Yahshua the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? We minister until we take off the veil of the flesh, because we're not manifesting the priesthood. We're manifesting the sons of Elohim. You understand, you know, right now in this day and age. So when they look back at us, you understand what I'm saying, as a young men of valor, it is showing forth a generation gap, you understand what I'm saying, but yet it's still showing forth how that we all speak the same language. You understand what I'm saying? And so she understands what I'm looking at based upon where I am, you see what I'm saying, from maybe the most holy place, opposed to where she came from the holy place and went into the most holy place. So I started at the most holy place because that's where I am in time as being a youngster. You understand what I'm saying? And so how Dr. Johnson fits in all this, how Elder looks back and sees how we are understanding the things that we're looking at, okay? Yeah. Now, Dr. Johnson was a witness to see me draw these two visions behind him. You understand? Mm-hmm. And we have to understand that Elder had the same vision in 1989. You understand what I'm saying? All Elder is doing is bearing witness to the vision that she already had. Mm-hmm. That's and all we're doing is because of the generation gap, we're coming together, revealing to you what we have both seen based upon the understanding that we have received from the vision and revelation of our Father, and what we say is the founder, Dr. Henry Clifford Kinlan. Hallelujah. And so all we're doing is coming together, see, to fulfill what it says over there. I believe in Hosea, over there in Acts, the 2nd chapter, how we shall have dreams, and we shall dream dreams and have visions. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so all we're doing is showing forth how that the scriptures are verifying and that are true. We're not bearing witness of one another. That's not what we're doing at all. See, but what we're doing is bear witness, see, of the fact that the things that Yahweh Elohim has shown us are the same things that he has shown our founder.
That's it.
You understand what I'm saying? And all we're doing is sharing it with you. See?
He did say, make me prove it unto your satisfaction. So what we are doing is we are proving that by the research that we are doing daily, not only physically, but spiritually and psychologically so.
That's right.
That's what is going on where we are.
That's right.
We have to see this spiritually and psychologically so, because there's nothing physical. The physical is gone.
That's right. That's right. And so, you know, it's really hard, you know, sometimes for us to be able to try to convey this and use types and shadows, or, you know, from some of our viewers saying, well, you guys are using a bunch of cartoons. Well, we're just using pictures, which is worth 1,000 words. And all we're asking you to do is look outside your window or go outside your door, because that's the reality of it. See, we're just using pictures to convey a message. Now, that was one of the things that the founder said, that was one of the imperfections of the visions, that it don't move. You understand what I'm saying? But you have to understand.
And yet it does.
But yet it does. That's right. But yet it does. See? So, you know, that's just some of the things that we're just trying to share with you. And that what we're doing is that we're witnessing to the things, see, that we have already seen and know for a surety. So this is what allows us to be able to go into the scriptures like we do, to be able to go into the vision like we do. And all we're doing is just conveying to you the things that was revealed to us like they were revealed to our founder. And what we're trying to do is show you from his point of view and from his perspective on how he was looking at the vision and revelation, and teaching it opposed to how when we first seen it and how we first understood it.
And while we're on that subject, Doc, we're looking at in other words, it said he showed his ways unto Moses and his acts unto the children of Israel. So now we're looking at the way that he did it.
That's right. That's right.
Then we started out looking at the acts, but now we're looking at the way.
That's right.
Because he's the way, the truth, and the life.
That's right.
And that's how we've got to see it. Otherwise, it's nothing but Bible stories.
That's right. And so therefore, what we're doing is that we are eradicating the stories and showing forth the principles on how he laid down the structure. And the principles,
reality. That's what
right.
It is.
And that's right. And those principles are blood, water, spirit, and change.
40.
That's right. And so therefore, all we're doing is validating what he stated and what he showed us. That's why we say that the rules of engagement is that the manifestation will change, but the principle will remain the same. And so therefore, we just showed you within our text and within our lecture this evening, how that the manifestation changed from Moses to Elijah, from the holy place to the most holy place, but the principles remain the same. See? And so that is very important when you are using the migratory trek, to be able to see these principles manifest in each compartment pertaining to those guidelines that the founder had laid down for us. See? And for all them individuals saying that blood, water, and spirit 40 is out, they never understood, see, the principles, you know what I mean, of the apothecary, based upon what Moses had set up, see, in the wilderness of Sinai, see? So this is the reason why that we go over these things, because one thing that's very important, see, that this is not, these scriptures is the vision that Yahweh Elohim given to Moses and John and the rest of the prophets. These are not our words. So when we are going into these scriptures, this is the vision of Moses. This is what Moses seen when he went up in that mountain that we show you based upon the charts that's behind us. This is what Yahweh showed unto John on the Isle of Patmos. This is what we are talking about. See, we're talking about holy scriptures. That's why a lot of time that when we talk and we show you the things that we're talking about, that you get caught up so fast, because it's not earthly things. See, it has nothing to do with the flesh. See, it's all spiritual.
Right, and like the Messiah said, if you had believed Moses, then you would have believed me, because Moses wrote of me. Now, those are the words of the Messiah. How are you going to dispute those?
Hey, you can't.
If you don't believe anything else, believe what the Messiah wrote.
That's right.
And believe what the Messiah said. If you don't believe nothing else, go back to what the Messiah said about it.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, Doc, let's close out. We're 9 minutes over.
Okay. I will be reading the doxology out of Romans, the 16th chapter, out of the Holy Name Version Bible. I will be reading verses 25 through 27. Now unto him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Yahshua the Messiah, according to the revelation of the mystery which was kept secret since the world began, but now is made manifested by the scriptures and of the prophets, according to the commandments of the everlasting Elohim, and made known to all nations for the obedience of faith. To Yahweh only wise be glory through Yahshua the Messiah forever. Hallelujah.
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 Oh, well, Doc, he brought us through another one, didn't he?
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. See?
That was just beautiful. That was wonderful.
Yeah, and you know, this is one of the things that we're going to be doing and that we're going to be working on, just so that we could fulfill those principles that's within the post-diluvian age, pertaining to how the founder had laid it down, 1 through 6. And so what we will be doing is picking up those principles and showing forth how everything that had happened within the wilderness happened within the most holy place. And then we're going to pick up those covenants so that, like I said, we're going to make sure that no stone is uncovered and that we can try to get into the deep things, see, of Yahweh Elohim. And all we're doing right now is that, you know, we're just showing a little rigor because we're digging now. You know what I mean? And we're trying to ruffle up that ground so that the seed that Yahweh Elohim is dropping, you know what I mean, it'll grow, you know? So that's what we're doing. And, you know, it's another thing that I wanted to say too, pertaining to where we are. Now, when you were speaking about rigor, and what we were doing was we was kind of talking about, you know what I'm saying, this coronavirus thing, you know? And so, you know, you were saying that it was a death and life principle manifesting at the same time. That's kind of like what's manifesting right now, because we got a lot of new birth that's manifesting with a lot of this death that's manifesting, you know? And so, you know, we have to look at that too. You know, they're killing off a lot of people, but at the same time, we're getting a lot of new birth.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So what we're looking at is the same thing of how, you know, like what was going on in the land of Egypt. You see?
That's it.
You know, we got people, we got death going on, but at the same time, we got a lot of life that's being brought forth.
Right. Death is a part of life.
That's right. See?
That's a life cycle. I mean,
That's right.
you know.
That's right.
And so it one must happen, and the Messiah said, unless what is it? Unless a blossom fall, then new life can't come forward. Like, in other words, he said, if I don't go, then the Holy Spirit can't come.
Right. Can't come. That's right. That's right.
And that's the whole point. Like, so in other words, just to put it in cornbread terms, when you look at a rose, and that rose at its most beautiful, I mean, when it is, like, say, when it is in full fruition, it's getting ready to die.
That's right. Because everything,
it is very, in other words, that rose at its zenith. Just like the sun, when it reaches its zenith at noon, at noontime, it's getting ready to go on. It's headed down.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly
what it is. That's the totality.
That's right.
Of the whole thing.
That's
so
right.
Whenever you look at that rose and you see that rose at its most beautiful point, it can't get no better than it is, so it's got to die.
Right. That's right.
That another rose can come forth.
That's true.
So I mean, so that's the cycle of life.
That's right.
Once we understand that, then we're no longer saddened by death. Why? Because we pass from death unto life.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And that is why we are now, as we speak, we are seated at that table of grace, feasting on the fruits of Canaan land.
Can't get no better than that.
That's it.
Can't get no better than that.
There's nothing else to eat until you get to the next dispensation.
That's right.
We're eating this is why we have a double portion. Just like we just got through reading over there with Elijah. Don't you see he was getting that double portion?
Ain't that what Elisha asked for? He said, I want a double portion of your spirit. He said, I want a double portion of your spirit.
That's what he said.
He said, you asked for a hard thing. He said, but if you see me go, you'll get it.
That's right. And when he did, that mantle fell on back.
He took his clothes off and put on Elijah's clothes.
Look. How about it?
So what happened to Elijah's flesh? They don't get into that.
There you go.
So you're gonna say the man got in the chariot of fire naked?
The man was translated, wasn't he?
That's what he was. So therefore, he need nothing physical. See?
That's what it was. He was translated, right?
Exactly, right there. Right
That's
there.
it. And the same thing, you look at the same thing with the Messiah.
Same thing with Enoch.
When he came to that tomb, pardon me, and they saw them grave clothes in there. Well, the gardener wasn't out there naked.
Oh no,
See?
Same thing.
This thing is pretty. That thing.
Oh yes,
it can
beautiful.
Overturn and overturn, Doc.
That's right.
You know, and that man that was out there in the graveyard there. Now his name was not Lazarus.
Not Lazarus. Yeah. The one that was in the tombs.
Right. Yeah.
I got that mixed up with one of the movies I was probably looking at.
I just was that. No, that wasn't Lazarus.
That wasn't Lazarus, huh? Yeah. Lazarus was Mary and Martha's brother.
Right, his brother. But remember though, he'd been in that tomb 4 days.
That's right. He was.
So, yeah. So
that's
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he wasn't in that. But that was just showing you how the Messiah had power over death.
That's right. The death, hell, and the grave.
Right. And he said, loose him.
Lose him. Right.
See?
That's right. That's
Lose
right.
him. See?
That's right.
Because Lazarus came out there and he had them grave clothes on.
That's right. That's right. Had to lose him. That's right. Had to lose those clothes. That's right. That's right.
Oh, Doc, look, I got to go see. I see because I'll be up all night. I'll be lit.
I'm already lit. I'm already lit.
Did you get my email?
Yes, I did.
Another email.
Oh my goodness, I've seen that too. Every time I see it, I just be like, wow, you know what I mean? So now it lets us know we still see on that plate up there, and that's the second time that it was talking about a volcano. So we're still over in the second age. See, and we're on the last part of that, you know, the second age on the part of that dispensation. But we have to understand that when we look at that runs all the way to plate 40, even though that is manifesting the second dispensation, the second day, and all that stuff that's pertaining to Noah. So therefore, we're still showing forth the principle how that water and fire is equal, but now we got to look for one more volcano to fit the pattern before we can move on to see if there's going to be something that's going to manifest within the vegetation kingdom.
How about that?
Oh, boy.
I love it. I love it.
Well, hey, that's why I said I'm going to be a forever student, see, of the vision of the founder, because, you know, hey, we're learning and we're coming to a knowledge of the truth instead of never coming to the knowledge of the truth.
Look, I'm telling you, Doc, it is no way there's no way that you're going to even teach anything on the natural. As I said, even if you have a PhD, your postdoctorate, you still have to go back to school in order to learn something else because things are constantly changing.
Yeah.
And we say the principle remains the same, but the manifestation is going to change. And that's what you have to go back for to get yourself iterated on the newest thing, in other words.
Right. See, that's right.
See, that's the newest thing. That's what it is. That's how, in other words, it's just show you an example of that. If you look at calculus, and you know when you are learning calculus and you write that entire you write an entire equation out on the board, it takes up the whole board. But when you break it down, you got A equals MC squared.
Right.
A plus B equals MC squared.
That's right.
But when you got to learn it the long way though before you can come to that.
Right. That's right.
You have to look. That's how it is.
That's true.
You have to learn it the long way. You go into town the first time. You don't know the shortcuts.
Right.
Learn the town. You got to go around town, get lost a few times or whatever.
That's right. That's
but
right.
at the end of it, now you got the shortcut. That's nothing. And the reason I use calculus because calculus is nothing but advanced algebra. See, and so and the reason I use that is because mathematics is a static science. Mathematics doesn't change. It does not change. You have methods of doing it to change.
Right.
But mathematics is a static science.
And that's one of the ologies, and it says that it is an abstract account that manifests something from abstract into from invisible into visibility.
Concrete. That's it.
Right. That's what it says. See, and that's amazing when you look at that from something that turns into from something that's nothing turns into something. See?
But not only that, look at us. Are we spirit materialized?
Yes, we are.
How about that?
Yes, we are.
How about that? How do you figure that one out?
Hey, we're trying to show it to them to show that we are angelic in this physical. We're trying to show them so that when they get all the way down to plate 39, see, 39B, and they see the people and the angels,
there you go.
They won't get it confused on who the angels are opposed to who the people are.
There you go. As I said, when you look at the sea men,
yes,
and you don't see men until you get bouncing baby boy girl
yes. Right.
And then when it comes out, then it's on its way back up again. How about that?
Because they got to go back from where it came.
It is on its way back up. Just like I told you, that rose at its zenith is ready to die.
That's right.
So when that baby comes out, bam! It's aging upward. From the second it comes out. It's aging upward. But while it's in that womb, it's aging down. That's like being in the dream state. When you lay down and you go to sleep at night, for at least however many hours you sleep, you don't even know who you are.
Right, you don't.
You have no idea that you even exist.
That's right.
But then when it's time for you to come out of that sleep state, then you start to dream. See? You start to dream, and then when you dreaming, then you wake up.
Right.
And the minute you wake up, you're on your way right on back up again. How about it?
Do it all over again.
Overturning and overturning and overturning.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, what you gonna do with that?
You can't do nothing with it.
Now that's called keep it simple, stupid.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
I love it. Doc, love you tons.
Yeah, I love you too.
Have a good weekend.
You too. You too,
Say
Dr.
good night
Johnson.
to my friend. Where is my friend?
He's doing his program. He's doing his program.
Give him my love and tell him I'm going to give him the benefit of my face one of these days.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he'd appreciate that.
Good night, Dr. Tasante, and say good night to Sister Monica for me as well.
I will.
Okay.
Okay,
love
shalom.
Y'all.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Oh, man.